Following morning, you are roused to find it's sunny outside by a sharp series of knocks on each of your doors, one at a time. Hey! Hey, I think I finished the thing!
You're not going to ask me if I want to build a snowman, are you?
Oh,
Okay.
Wrong series
Well,
of
at least
knocks.
it ain't the L and G.
Oh
one.
my.
No. See, for that I would have wanted to go.
And I.
God damn it.
Which I didn't.
Well,
Anyways.
you done?
All right, let's just go.
All right, so,
Ready?
you come out and there's Sid looking remarkably excited for a, mid-30s bearded man engineer. Like, yeah, I think I finally got it working. Come on.
Okay, we're coming. Give us a moment to get. Yeah, jeez.
Get dressed faster! You hear him calling out from his workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
think
take
it's
it with
good
the
to do
spring in
that.
your step, you found our lovable bastards we know as Deviant Corp.
Well, I don't have their precise location, but I do have a means of finding it efficiently. Come on.
Like.
I think he's just gonna tell us once we get there.
Yeah,
So come on.
All right. Nee, Mika, stop nogging in bed and let's go.
We will kill you.
I'm not in bed, Mika says from right behind you.
Close to the back of the head. Well, that naughty.
One of us jumps out of his skin, has a heart attack, and dies.
Yeah, it takes a lot more to scare him than that.
All right. Well, anyways, you're led into you're led into Sid's office or workshop rather, and he holds up a device, little handheld device. It's very clunky and blocky. A lot of brass and bronze make up its construction. It's got a few dials on it and an antenna sticking out the top that's blinking with a blue light every few seconds.
Hey, look, science thing.
Science thing,
Blinking.
indeed. So, he points at it. This little contraption here has the communication chips from the devices you brought me embedded inside of it, and a few other bits of hardware that make the connection possible. This antenna is a signal booster, and it also is connected to some internal circuitry that will cause this light to blink faster and brighter the closer to the origin of the signal you get, the closer to Deviant Corp's headquarters. So, right now it's only blinking every few seconds because it has the signal but can't pick out a precise location. Its range is approximately, I'd say, 40 miles before it will really start zeroing in pinpoint. Now, you all know the specific forest Deviant Corp is in, right? I've heard you mention that before.
It's the one on the southern border.
Right. So, with that in mind, in theory, the way we could go about this is I could take you there in the Stargazer, drop you off at the edges, and then just keep the airship going around it, maybe make a few runs to the Dami checkpoint a little ways away to refuel, and you can then head on in, locate that facility, and tear it asunder.
There is
Wow.
something else you should know. Roland, that must. He
You know what?
offered if we could get him off that he would just outright tell us, and also apparently knows some of the insides.
Huh.
But the only problem is, he's only willing to talk if we bail him out, which the price is hefty for its 20,000. Yeah.
That's why we're waiting until today to see if it's really necessary, and if it was, if we could, try and convince
As
him.
much as
I
we
Convince
want
him
to
to
know-
let him off for reasons of national security or something.
Honestly, now that we have this thing and we have a forest that's not entirely too big to search through,
True, but I just wish we know what we're walking into.
I honestly say let the guy rot.
For the sake of argument, it's as amazing as this machine is. Don't get me wrong, Sid. It's still a lot more vague than what he would give, and also doesn't tell us anything about the inside interior.
And how do we know that he will tell us the truth?
At this point, I just want to know.
I mean, just think about it for a
what we're
second.
walking into.
We
Inside
destroyed-
and out.
I mean, just think about this for a second. We destroyed his gun, his mech, ruined his contract, and beat him up rather severely. And just because we get him out of jail because we're the ones that put him in there, he just so happens to give us the information that we want.
If
I
there's
know it's a bit
anything a
of
mercenary is
gamble,
loyal
but-
to, it's to a paycheck.
Mm.
And because of us, he doesn't get that paycheck.
Unless we want to give him one, but the thing. Money. Blech.
You see, there's the thing. We get him out of jail, then he might just still say, "Hey, give me 2,000 gil, and I'll give you the information."
Thanatos, think of it like this. There's no fucking way Deviant Corp's gonna bail him out because they're not those kinds of people. But even if they do, they'd probably take him to a place and kill his ass.
That's
So-
what I was trying to get at to him last night. But
Honestly, I don't think he's concerned on Deviant Corp. What I was trying to convey to him is more, pressing on the wealth thing. But now we're arguing in circles.
Yeah.
honestly, I say let the guy rot and let's go with Sid's plan.
Yeah, even though we'd be walking in completely blind.
What
Even
about the
though-
man himself? What does Sid think?
Hmm.
Well, I can't land the Stargazer anywhere inside the forest, sadly. The airship is designed to land in either at a dry dock where it can connect a gangplank to a dock platform, or it's designed to be able to be tethered to the ground in a wide open, relatively flat terrain. It can't land in forests or mountains or, heaven forbid, in water. But what we could do is we could make a pass over the top of the forest canopy with the ship. It would disturb the crap out of a lot of wildlife, and chances are it would alert Deviacorp that we're coming, but they're probably already aware that they're being hunted in the first place, so their defenses are going to be higher regardless. So,
I mean, sending Mr. I love to shoot us in the night is pretty much, yeah, they know where we are, who we are.
yeah, that was their last-ditch effort to try and nip this in the bud, and with them knowing now that Roland failed, their defenses are going to be skyrocketing. They know we have these. He taps on the device. They know we have the chips. They know that we can find where they are, so they're either going to double down on trying to blow us up or double down on defending themselves. So either way, their defenses are going to be up. So really, alerting them that we're around isn't going to make much of a difference. So the way I see it, if we fly over the top of the forest and make a few passes until this thing starts beeping really fast, then we can nail down its precise location. I can drop you off at the closest edge of the forest, and you can make the remainder of the journey on foot.
Yes, but that's still going to pretty much say, hey, we're here. And there's also the risk that they may have some type of air defense and put your ship at risk.
Well, considering the amount of trouble this company's caused, the number of people they've hurt, frankly, I'm willing to take that risk. A large part of my career has been devoted to trying to take them down. I have that chance now.
Alright, so there's that. What about any support we can expect or not expect?
Well, I suppose I could try and petition the board to grant us some military aid. But the thing is, a large attack force like that would draw a lot more attention than... I mean, they already know we're coming. But at the same time...
If they see a large army heading
If they see
towards
if
there,
they
they may just abandon the facility altogether.
yes, and
I
reconvene
think
elsewhere.
the
It
best
would be
way
a
to do it.
yeah. So a smaller group
Yeah.
can move quickly and quietly, and maybe even catch them by surprise, even if they're expecting an attack. A large assault force can't really pull that off.
To
I
be
wasn't necessarily suggesting a large assault force, except maybe as like a backup
Yeah.
standby thing, but just any resources that we sent their way. Again, to solve the problem.
Well,
Kind of
mean,
seems
hear
to
me
think they
out.
want the nip in the bud.
I don't really know, honestly. I mean, I have a little bit of pull, but not nearly enough to call on something like that.
Mm. I mean, hear me out. I mean,
Yeah.
The way I see it,
could
one
be.
thing we can try, we can pinpoint their location in the Suto forest, and once we have that location and I've dropped you off, I can make the flight back to Endlum to report that information to the board. And then, in the event that you all fail, they can send in their own, attack force to rip them apart. They'll want a precise location before they start mounting any sort of offensive, because otherwise, well, they might be spending too much time looking around instead of actually attacking, and give Deviacorp's people a chance to pack up their shit and go.
Well, it's better than nothing, so just do what you can.
All right.
yes.
Better not waste any time, so you should all get to the dry docks and get on the Stargazer. I'll be there in a little while.
Alright.
You know what I wish we had?
Hmm.
Tomberries again. They would be a big help.
A little army. We can't expect a little army of lizardmen to follow us, and quite frankly, they creep me out.
You're
Now,
just
now,
you're
you may
just
have a
still
bad
salty
encounter
about
with
that
them.
stab.
Wouldn't you be?
I mean, I'll get over it.
Thanatos,
Yeah, sure. What?
if I get stabbed multiple times by them and always been brought to the brink of near death, I could never deny that their cooking is good and they can be generally nice if you stay in their good graces.
Okay,
Hating an entire race because one or two stabbed you is not really a good sign of hating them forever.
One.
Or good reason.
Is it one? I'm not denying that their food is not excellent, Alice. Here, it is. Two, you got knocked out in one punch in that last fight, so you.
And it wasn't by one of them.
Guys, remember, not wasting any time.
One
Mhm.
punch, man.
Let's continue this argument and debate and general bullshit on the boat.
Mhm.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
We see you there.
All right. So, you all are departing Sid's workshop and making your way for the dry docks.
Indeed.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So, it doesn't take you long. You soon enough find yourself in one of the trams taking you up to the dry docks, built into the walls. It's pretty busy when you arrive. It looks like there's recently been a recent influx of like merchant ships bringing in their stuff. So when your tram drops you off, there's a lot of hustle and bustle and activity, a lot of roar of airship engines dying down or thrumming up. Very noisy, very loud, but it doesn't take you long to eventually locate the dry dock the Stargazer's in, right where you left it. Biggs and Wedge are currently working on the top deck, looking to be like, just making sure everything's in order. They look over at you as you approach. Biggs leans over the railing. Hi, where's Sid?
He said to be by a little later.
Ah, what y'all doing here then?
Just waiting for him.
We are going on a little trip, boys.
Oh yeah? Where to?
Deviant Corp.
The Suto Forest.
Ooh. You hear that, Wedge? Yeah, I do. Nice. They bump fists. Hugely disproportionate fists to each other.
I won't lie. I'm nervous of this. I mean,
Seriously, you nervous? Yes,
You're
we
nervous.
faced an Eldritch Abomination.
We faced an Eldritch Abomination. We freaking went into an entire camp full of mercenaries and big Galka and weird monk guy, and this scares you?
Face it, Alistair, this is Tuesday for us now.
Yeah, but we almost lost Rocket.
We almost lost you in that last fight, and we didn't cry too much.
True.
We'll be fine.
That's-
Besides, we've got Catgirl now.
Are you asking to get the beating from the book? Or
I
do
mean,
want
have you
to
heard him?
spells on you?
Is this the first time you have heard him since we met him? He's always trying to do that.
Eh,
Oh, dear.
says she can throw a book at me on the boat all she wants. She might lose it, though.
I mean,
Oh,
She taps the sword she now keeps at her side and smirks at you.
Yeah,
it does that now. Are you
yeah,
sure?
but let me remember.
Just remember, Nee says, like patting him on the back. Hers is bigger.
I mean, she's not.
Okay.
I mean, he's not wrong either. Mika's sword is actually a little bigger than yours.
Mhm.
Vermilion's edge, maybe not my scythe.
You're not using the scythe. And also the blade would still be shorter.
Yeah.
Scythe.
Yeah, all you have to do is just strike the staff.
Yeah, but there's
Okay.
one big difference. I'm a lot better trained in using it.
Yeah, but she can just knock you out with a wave of her hand.
Sorry, man, but I know the way you say it. Her magic would literally go old school on your ass and you'd be down.
Do you not remember all the black fireballs I was throwing at
can
Mr.
we not talk
Sniper
about
the other night?
hypotheticals about beating each other up, please?
Why? It's fun.
Doesn't sound like it to me.
Well, just give it a bit, and you'll remember how fun it is.
Mm.
Mm.
Mika turns and looks over at Rocket.
How are you feeling about all this? You've been pretty quiet all day.
I think we lost Lumina.
Lumina?
Huh?
Hey, Mika was talking to you.
Oh.
Pay attention. Mika was asking Rocket how she's feeling about all this. You know, she's been quiet all day.
Oh.
Did you pass out at your computer or something?
No?
You sure?
You
No.
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, damn.
I think we
Worry me
need a
sometimes.
recap of the last 10 minutes.
What's the last thing you remember, Lumina? This is an amazing session right now.
Oh,
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
the binoculars is all...
Between-
I remember an awkward conversation. Okay.
And then you passed out.
Please
So
say
ba-
that.
So basically, yeah, we're going to Deviant Corp. We're gonna go fly on a ship.
This entire
Yeah,
session has been a dumpster fire, right?
Kind of,
Pretty
yeah.
much, Well, again, it would have been funner if Tone let me.
Technical
do my verification.
difficulties, interruptions, Lumina fell
Tone.
asleep.
Tone
I
being a
didn't fall asleep.
killjoy.
We're on a mobile game.
Don't put your
Just-
phone away in the middle of the game. It's rude manners to have your phone open in the middle of D&D.
Oh,
It's
man.
very,
It is.
it is very poor D&D etiquette to have your phone out unless that's what you're using to play.
Please say ain't the second coming of binoculars.
Anyway,
I
to
don't
fill in the
think
gaps,
it's-
we're now boarding an airship and we're going to go to the forest to go beat up Deviant Corp and end your whole storyline.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right, so,
Yeah.
a short while later, after you've all collected on the airship, Sid eventually comes by in his full travel gear. All right, we're cleared to depart. Let's get a move on, people. We got a bastard corporation to take down.
Mhm.
Okay.
Best way we can.
The decks, springs into motion. Everyone's running around, getting their things, and before long, the airship's engines, burst into life, filling the air with this loud, cacophonous roar.
Mhm.
It is very loud, but there you go. So, let's see here. I'm trying to find a specific piece of music to go with this bit.
Okay.
All right, so
So, this could be it, everyone. Taking down Deviant Corp. Whew.
Mm-hmm.
All I can say is I think it'd be best idea. I know they may be expecting us, but if we could try to be stealthy and at least give.
Yeah, a
everyone
giant
heads
ship
up.
flying over their forest is going to be stealthy.
Well, we'd be dropped off at the edge of the forest. But anyway.
We're still
as I said-
flying over it.
Well, let's just hope they don't figure out we're on some ship. But anywho.
Yeah, just a random ship circling around the forest. That's not suspicious at all.
Anywhom. The way I see it, we try to establish what they have and an easy way in. And if it's too much for us to handle, hope we call for backup if backup does somehow arrive if it gets out of hand.
Yeah, because it's clear these guys here in Endlum are bounds
Because
of
think
help.
about it. I know you're a bit salty about that, but think about it. We are going up against the whole entire facility of assholes who also has a fucking amber-loving nubhead who serves an evil god. And who knows what he's capable of? It could be another Shawan or something worse. Probably worse because he's managed to infiltrate a fucking organization.
Well, we can only find out when we get there. Anything before that is speculation.
Indeed.
And I suppose we're going to find out how corrupt this place really is now.
And how
So
quick it
hold
can
on to your
burn.
butts.
All right.
This is going to be a bumpy ride.
And with that, the airship finally disconnects from its platform and pulls into motion, swiftly leaving the busy dry docks of Endlum behind and pulling out into the open skies overhead. So, for travel time, let me see, are you all on the world map? Yes, you are. Okay. So, The travel time to get to the pseudoforce via airship is looking to be around a week of airship time, if you count a very brief drop in Costa del Terra to refuel.
Safe travels to us, I guess.
Indeed.
Well, at least we're not going over any amber things unless something from one of these forests tries to fly up and attack us. And I just gave him ideas. Great.
Well, to be fair, there is flying
Where-
wildlife. Not all of it's friendly.
All right.
And Tom just likes to fuck with us.
Stop being so.
All right. Well, at any
I am-
rate.
I am very salty.
Well,
Thank you.
so then. Any interactions anyone wants to have on the way?
Can I push Alistair off the boat?
No.
No.
Damn.
What the point? Oh, sorry. Yeah. What in the part of, as a team, don't you understand?
Jesus Christ. Everyone really is in a mood today.
Frankly, I'm of the mind that we should get to the forest and end this session and actually go to the next one with slightly less of dumps of fire.
Probably.
And maybe some interactions at the fuel stop thing.
I mean, I doubt we're going to be doing much interaction at the fuel stop.
Well,
Well, as long as you don't show off there, you should be fine.
Anyways,
Yeah, I'm just going to throw a fireball off the ship in frustration.
No!
he's joking, obviously. I'll go ahead and say that right about
Or
here.
am I?
Okay, so you're making your way. The airship carries you along. It stopped very briefly in Costa del Terra, short enough that you didn't really get a good look at the town before it kept moving. The pointing forest is far behind you, and you've been flying over the open grasslands and coastline around the Solitaria Bay for a while now. You've passed by several very wide rivers, including one coming out of the Brothers Lake, and far off to the distance, over in the west, you're able to see the Kuto and Juto forests as you are going. It is as you are about here on the map that it is nighttime. You've all sort of bunkered down in your own individual rooms to sleep for the night, when something unusual happens.
I hate you.
Shit.
Rocket.
Here we go.
Rocket.
Yep, Rocket.
Yes.
What about the bird?
As you are sleeping, you find yourself waking up in an unfamiliar environment. It's not the airship. You open your good eye. The rest of you aren't there, so be quiet.
I'm muting myself.
You open your organic eye. Your mechanical eye seems to not be functioning at the moment, and you just see dust below you, just dirt and dust. A cold, biting wind is washing over you and howling violently in the wind, like reminding you of 1,000 ghosts crying out. You look up, and the sky overhead is smothered in dark storm clouds. You can see the dust whipping by you at high speeds, biting into your skin and digging under your feathers. It's exceedingly unpleasant. There's nothing around you. Just an endless flat plain of dust and dirt.
How did I get here?
Make
This isn't the ship.
make an awareness check.
Okay. Yes, that is. Okay. What's up? Do.
14, that's nice. Okay, so. Movement in the corner of your eye. You turn to look, and for a moment, you swear you see something in the swirling dust ahead of you. You rise and take a few steps to follow it, but it's gone. Then there's movement again to your other side. You turn and look, and this time you see that a dead tree is jutting up from the ground. blown to one side and leaning from the intensity of the winds. It looks like it's been here for thousands of years, perhaps, rotting and decaying. No leaves have decorated its branches in eons, but there it is.
Random tree? Probably better get out of the wind. I moved to get out of the wind by, getting against the tree.
Right. You take shelter from the intense gale using the tree as cover. It's only partial, but it allows you to think somewhat clear without the wind rushing into your ears. Look around across this vast wasteland again and just emptiness.
This isn't right. Something's very wrong here.
An orange star drifts across your vision from the right.
What was that?
You look in the direction it came from, and you see starting to rise up from the ground amber. Jagged, malformed, rising up, pushing the dirt aside, filling the air with a low, deathly rumble. The amber starts branching out, spreading in different directions, almost as if it itself is forming a tree.
That's not a good thing.
It glows ominously the more it grows and the larger it gets. Soon enough, it's the only source of illumination you have, and it's almost blinding. And then, in the front of this colossal tree of amber, a jagged vertical crack suddenly appears in the front of it. And it begins to split open. A whole new wind comes out of that broken piece of the amber, washing over you. It makes you shudder involuntarily. It's not cold, but it's wrong in every conceivable sense of the word. That wind that's coming out of that break is wrong on an instinctual level. A black skeletal hand, large, comes out of that blinding light from inside the amber, curls around the edge, and slowly pulls a creature forward. You've never seen anything like it before. It's tall, wickedly so, almost 20 feet. It's skinny, but muscular and well-toned. Its entire body, its skin is black as night, but red muscles decorate its chest, its arms, its calves. A long whip-like tail wishes around behind it, and gigantic bat-like wings flutter off of its shoulders as it emerges. Its face is twisted into an eternal, malevolent grin with piercing orange eyes and rows of razor-sharp teeth shining. 2 horns reach out from either side of its head over its brow, while another one comes down off of its chin, coming into 3 notable points.
That's a big fella.
Indeed, it says, its voice
Oh, it
permeating you to your very soul as it approaches.
Ugh.
You are persistent, aren't you?
Me? You.
What was that?
Who are you?
The wings slowly fan out, and the light from the amber shard behind you suddenly goes completely dim. I think you know already, don't you?
Do I?
Suddenly, the wind intensifies severely. The entire world is obscured as your vision is filled with dust and your ears howling with wind. It feels like you're picked up off your feet and thrown wildly like a rag doll across the gale. After a little while, you come crashing back down to the ground, sliding several feet.
Oof.
The wind dies down, and when you look up, you see more spikes of amber rising out of the ground, colored a deep crimson at their points. And on one of them, you see the corpse of Lazarus speared, twitching, blood still gurgling free from his body. I'm the one you cannot stop, the voice echoes in your ears. The amber spike that Lazarus is speared on suddenly splits open, almost like backwards curling fingers that wrap around the still twitching body of Lazarus before the spike starts to recede into the ground, dragging him with it.
Oh.
You're not reacting in any other way to that?
You're the source of the amber!
There's a flicker, a bassy boom in your ears, and you see that creature again, sort of sitting on one of the spikes that sort of bends and twists under him to form a jagged, spiky seat. That's right. I don't think I need to tell you my name, then.
No, but out of character, really.
Out of character, this is the guy you've all been worried about. This is Diabolos you're talking to.
Okay.
He is the god of darkness.
Diabolos.
That's right. Glad to see you've been paying attention. You can't stop me, you know. But your efforts are fascinating.
And it won't stop me from trying.
I'm sure it won't. By all means, try your hardest. You can't stop.
Exactly why are you talking to me again?
What was that?
Exactly why are you talking to me again?
Because I find you interesting. Thus far, you have interfered in several of the schemes I have put into motion. Marasu the first, now my work with Devia Corp. You really are something special. You and your friends, aren't you? You follow my good work like a fly to a rotting piece of food, like a maggot to an open wound. You just can't help
Well, that's a
yourself.
rather disgusting description.
Perhaps. He flickers again and is gone, and again the scenario around you is changed. You appear to be in the middle of some great empty cavern, far, far below ground. And all around you there are platforms and crystals and growths of amber that visually are reminiscent of how neurons might look inside of a brain when under a microscope. Organic shapes and bridges connecting them in a haphazard, wild pattern.
Oh.
But try as hard as you like. Another spike rises up from the side of the platform you're standing on, and suddenly you see Neothel fall from the air and get spiked upon it, blood spraying free.
Ow.
Well, you can't stop the inevitable. Another spike rises. This time Thanatos falls on it.
Ow.
One by one. Another spike, this time Alistair. You'll all fall
sure you
before
like
me.
Monologue.
Perhaps. You see his form flickering in front of you again. But at the same time, it's not like I have anything else to do. Until
So you're
everything's...
bored, are you?
I'm interested in you and your friends. You are amusing. One of his clawed hands slowly reaches out and, like, touches the side of your beak. I think you will be very entertaining in the days to come. But you
Now,
want
don't get your hopes up.
It is you who has far too much hope. His wings flare out and give a mighty flap, lifting him up into the air. After all, you cling to a creature long dead.
Power is still exists.
What was that? You cut out a bit.
Her power is still around. Sorry, I was dropping the cat.
It's fine. It is. Of course it is. I let it.
You know I don't believe that.
Then you
I know what a
free-
phoenix is.
A phoenix is a creature that dies and is reborn from its ashes. But what if there are no ashes? Better yet, what if it has no power?
It does have power.
You'll understand in time. But for now... Suddenly, from directly underneath you, another spike of amber rises up, piercing you in the chest and piercing out through your back. You're lifted up high into the air. The pain is excruciating, unbelievable, worse than any agony you've ever experienced before. You'll understand in time. But until then, you just keep up your good fight. The fruitlessness of your efforts will be made clear in time. Now...
You're one ugly motherfucker.
I love that one.
Is Lumina had been possessed by the soul of Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Brave of you. You hear a snap far in the distance, and then suddenly the spike of amber that's impaled you from inside your own body begins to spread out and grow into more and more branches, tunneling through your veins, through your body. You can't help it. You shriek out in agony before more of those spikes actually start growing out of your mouth, silencing your cries, and you fall silent. You hear Diabolos laughing around you, and before your eyes you see a flickering montage of grotesque images of amber spikes rising from the earth, bodies impaled on them, demons running rampant, your friends eviscerated. And then finally, the last image, you see a humanoid, back turned to you, wearing a dark blue robe and holding an ominous staff. Diabolos says one more thing to you. I'm sure you will get along great. The hooded figure turns towards you, and then you wake up back on the airship, screaming out in terror as adrenaline pumps through your veins and a cold sweat blankets your body.
He's a cocky bastard, isn't he?
The rest of you hear Rocket's shouts and cries from everywhere you are. She is being very loud right now.
Was it?
Whoa,
Was it? What? Are we under attack?
I don't know. Walk it. Are you okay? Walk it. Oh
That
shit.
bastard.
What?
Bastard? What bastard?
Diabolos.
What?
What about Diablos? Do you have a nightmare?
He had the gall to contact me in my dream.
Oh my goodness.
You can
Diablos.
What does it look like?
God of Darkness decided out of a whim to go into your dream.
What exactly are you talking about?
Apparently he finds us amusing.
And
Joy.
what did he look
We're
like?
entertaining the bastard.
You're sure?
What-
You sure whatever you saw, it was real?
I know that was Diabolos.
What did he look like and what did he say?
He was one ugly motherfucker.
Please tell me you didn't tell him that to his face.
Well, actually,
Oh boy. Well,
And
if
here
that
the
being ever gets mad,
What
that's
exactly
one way to start.
did he say aside from amusing? Assuming this is real, which I have no room to talk, saying it's not. What happened? Tell us.
he finds it interesting that we're stopping his plans. And he says it's futile, but
bad guys always say that.
Hang on, so he contacted you.
Why you?
Mika,
he finds me amusing or something.
You said he finds all of this amusing.
hey Mika.
Hmm?
The effects of Amber, and I know it's gone from Rocket, but she did her beak get infected and all that. Do you think that could be the cause of, Diabolos having a brief talk with her through her dreams?
I have no idea. Probably not. That was caused by an infection the Amber created. When we all killed the seed of the plague, that infection became inert. So it shouldn't be doing anything like that anymore.
But that would mean, if this is as it seems, then Diablos can just do that to anyone at any time.
Oh, great.
That's worrying.
Great. I have nightmares enough, and now I gotta worry about the god of darkness in my sleep. Great.
Well,
I got rid of my bloody nightmares ages ago, and now
Goody
I'm gonna
for
get new
you.
at least we now know that Saran was being truthful and that he is alive.
one.
That's upsetting.
Just a bit.
He's
Well,
got a
but-
black body with red muscles. And a permanent grin.
Sounds about right for a god of darkness.
Well, his confidence would be his greatest weakness. We will not give up.
Do you see anything else other than him and his dickery?
I saw a lot of amber, and you guys getting impaled.
Ah,
and
that's
then I got
lovely,
impaled. And then everybody else got impaled.
Well,
I feel
let's
like this
look
guy.
at
I feel like this
Let's
guy
go.
has a thing for impaling.
Well,
What
let's
is
look at
bloody
it this
impaled?
way. We've managed to cause him enough trouble that he actually knows we exist. So that's one way to look at it.
Is that a good thing?
Also, I
Well-
saw the magician guy.
Pardon?
Well, we lost the element. The way I see it, we lost the element of surprise. It's
You
not
s-
surprising at all.
You saw
But I know
Murasan?
this. Murasan?
Murasanya.
Yeah. Very briefly.
His latest servant.
Well, that means that they for sure know we're coming. Great.
Fuck.
Well,
We'll just have to be careful then.
Indeed.
Yes,
And do not
because
worry,
our plans
Rocket.
always go so well.
if we've caused him enough trouble that he feels that he has to start getting personally involved, then it means we're doing something right, no matter what he says.
Or he's just bored.
And Rocket and anyone else, if they go through what poor Rockets went through, don't let Diabolos win through this mind thing that he does.
The Diabolos.
Well, whatever. It's not set in stone. Whatever he shows us, we
Yeah.
can stop him and put an end to it once and for all.
Whatever
I mean,
the case.
I
We
mean,
should-
between my nightmares and these little mommy issues, I don't think it'll be much
Excuse
different.
me.
Oh,
Now is not the time to be insulting people.
I'm not
Ah.
insulting. I'm stating a fact.
Let's go back to bed, because we're going to be assaulting his little location in the next couple of days. Last thing we need to just be tired because we're too busy worrying about things he showed us. That's honestly probably what he wants. Us to be
Yes.
agonizing over every single detail that he's revealing to us, rather than actually focusing on what we're meant to.
Hmm.
Before we go back to bed, Mika, you have anything to ease Rocket a bit?
Yeah, I have something that should help us sleep. Hang on.
She sort of takes her sword and it turns back into a book with a brief flicker of light.
Okay, let's see here. Right.
She waves her hands over it for a second, and the whole room is steadily starting to be filled up with a little cloud of sort of palish mist-looking thing. And you all start feeling a little on the drowsy side.
There. Low-level sleep spell. We lie down, that should really help us sleep. Rocket especially.
Let's hope I don't end up in an alleyway again.
You won't.
Not on a ship, mate, unless we drop you.
We aren't going to do that. We pick on you,
Exactly.
Thanatos, but we're still part of the team.
That's nice. Good night.
Get some sleep, everyone. Just figure out Doc got in the morning.
Indeed. Well, it looks like Thanatos has passed out, so I just take him to his bed before I pass out.
Well, we're kind of already all in bed.
Well, we're dozy.
You all lie back down. You close your eyes, and Mika's spell does wonders. It doesn't take everyone long to fall back asleep. The rocket does take noticeably longer. Even with the sleep spell in effect, it takes a little bit longer for you to feel comfortable enough to fall asleep, because it's you still remember the phantom pains of being impaled and just having your entire body filled with amber spikes eviscerating you from within. So it takes a little while for the sleep spell to quell your own anxiety over that enough for you to finally close your eyes and get some much-needed rest.
Oh.
And I think that is where we'll call this session.
Dear.
Congratulations on the Timination voice. Even though Rocket was a bit cocky.
Rocket was surprisingly cocky throughout that whole thing. I was not expecting that.
He's a stubborn bird.
But yes.
Honestly,
that's
an
the best way to
insult
deal
to-
with it. He's trying to get under our skin.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Go
so
on.
sorry this session was such a dumpster fire, ladies and gentlemen. That was not my intention, I swear, but things just kept happening, and I think we all came in here in a bit of a mood for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe we all slept like shit, whatever, but either
Well, I
way,
feel like shit since Friday.
it's Sunday.
Yes,
Sunday,
and I
Sunday,
had
Sunday!
no sleep on Friday to
Anyway, we
Saturday.
can talk about this in the after thing. Let's just
But anyway,
So
thank
yeah.
you for the
So
session.
So yeah,
and
thank
sorry
you all,
for-
ladies and gentlemen, so much for tuning in to this episode of Final Fantasy Chronicles of Eno. We'll see you next time, and hopefully things will go a bit smoother that time. So yeah, thanks for tuning in,
Hopefully
people.
next time he'll let me have my phone.
Oh, we got a
Diablo
lot to do.
sucks.
That he does, Rocket. That
Skidorama
he does.
sucks.
No, I
Alright.
don't. How fucking dare you?